I guess we back. Two podcasts in 1 week. Ooh. I'm starting to get back into that flow. That flow good now. What it do, everybody? It's the Neff Knows podcast. I'm a little stuck up today. I'm a little sad too. My boys lost this weekend, so I'm trying to bear with y'all and talk about what's good in the SEC, what's good in the Big Ten, Pac-12, Big 12, all that good stuff, man. We had a good weekend though. I mean, it was a good weekend in college football. A lot of oh my gods, and a whole lot of upsets. A lot of teams were exposed this weekend. It just is a lot. A lot of things happened in college football this weekend to make me say, I think we should have waited a little while longer. I mean the situation where we no fall no camps and no real practice time is starting to show, and that's not just with Florida, and even though Florida was the biggest. He said fire Pete Golden. You gotta tell me who Pete Golden is. But a lot of things is starting to show from not having the spring camps. My bad on the fall camp. The spring camps, not having the practice time, the testing, and having to follow protocols and everything up until that point, like okay, that's Bama defense coordinator. We're gonna get into Bama Ole Miss game. Like I said, it's a lot of things are starting to show to where it should have been. We should have waited. And now but you can see it now. I mean, week one, you really you kind of seen it with Florida and Ole Miss week one. Florida defense can't tackle. I mean, but that's been an ongoing problem for years. But there are no dominant teams in the SEC right now. I mean, Georgia looks good. Bama looks good. Didn't look good yesterday. I ain't gonna say they didn't look good yesterday. It's more of there are no dominant defenses in the SEC. Like I said, Georgia looks good, but have they met their match? If that was to say, Tennessee gave them a run for their money in the first half, but once that first mistake, like Georgia capitalizes on mistakes. They got a freshman quarterback. This they fourth quarterback this year. You know what I'm saying? So like, you don't really know if it's gonna be Georgia's quarterback, Georgia's defense. You don't know if it's gonna be Bama's quarterback, Bama's defense, or Bama's offense. But all SEC teams have showed that their offenses are good, real good. But I mean, have the defenses and the defensive coordinators. If we're gonna fire Pete Golden, we're gonna fire Ty Grantham. You know what I'm saying? Jeremy Pruitt got Tennessee looking good. Don't get me wrong. The game yesterday was It was a beautiful game. Second half, I just don't know, the containment broke down or something. But Tennessee still looks like the number 2 team in the East. Bama really don't have a, is Auburn had a chance. I mean, Auburn decent. They defense might be a little decent, but they offense still stale. I mean, Felipe Franks went out there and put on the show. And this is his second time against Bo Nix. So like I said, by being no spring camps, and following protocols and following and just being away from your team. I mean, virtual has taken over 2020. Virtual everything has taken over 2020. Virtual learning, virtual camps, virtual talking to your people, like being with your team and be able to practice with your team. I mean, you practice what, Monday, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, and testing in on Thursday and stuff like that. Like that's not gonna be enough right now. I mean, Clemson looks good. Don't get me wrong, but when it's gonna like we're mostly like I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, all that good stuff, and I'm in Facebook groups, and I'm a Florida fan, so we know what it is. So, but when it comes down to listening to what the fans are saying, like I listened to the Dan Mullen press post game conference or whatever, post game interview or whatever. He blamed a lot of the miscues and stuff on the fans. And don't get me wrong, A&M had a packed house, even though, I mean, 24,000 is a lot. I mean, they were loud. But we can't blame that on that. We got to blame that on coaching and the defense. A lot of guys was out of place, and you never seen the defense of Florida look like that. They didn't get a lot of stops. Ole Miss throwed up 48 points on Alabama. You don't really catch that like that. I mean, the last time we seen a shootout versus Alabama was LSU and Alabama, you know what I'm saying? And that game came down to Burrow's offense versus Bama's defense, stuff like that. But you don't see, Alabama throwing up 63 points. Now, they throwing up touchdowns. And Nick Saban said he think Lane Kiffin might have knew the signals. That's why I said we missing a lot, and I think we should have waited. It's a lot of miscues, a lot of bad timing and everything, and I think that as far as college football goes, period, it should have been a little bit more practice time instead of let's go as scheduled. I mean, don't get me wrong, SEC versus SEC, every week you're going to get something different. You're going to get high-powered offense, lockdown defense, high-powered offense versus lockdown defense, high-powered offense versus high-powered offense, defense versus defense, stuff like that. You're going to get that every week, SEC on SEC. But when you don't get the practice games, as we call them, cupcake games. If you don't get the cupcake games, you never know where you missing at. So you got to line it up every week and go compete. So with that being said, let's go to some of the scores from yesterday. A&M knocks out Florida. Florida number 4 was number 4 in the country. A&M number 21. So much stuff going on right here, but and them just played a better game. They withstand the scoring fest that Florida has put on. Don't get me wrong, Kyle Trask to Kyle Pitts. That's 10 touchdowns for Kyle Trask, 10, 11, 12. And Kyle Pitts got at least 6 of them. Like I said, Kadarius Toney had a good game. 7 catches, 7 targets for 92 yards, 2 touchdowns. But and them right there. They was right there the whole time. How can you, it comes from the defense, but it was also just a lot of points being added. Final score is 41-38 A&M, but there's a lot of scoring going on when no defense getting played. Nowhere on neither side of the ball. When A&M needed points, they went down the field and they picked on Marco Wilson a whole lot of the game. And Marco Wilson is a senior. So when seniors are getting picked on, what did that tell you? somebody needs to go practice. Somebody needs to watch some game tape. Somebody needs to get in the gym, do some weights or something. But when the seniors are getting picked on by 3-star quarterbacks, man, I mean, come on now. Let's be real about a lot of stuff. I'm a Florida fan, so it's hard for me to just not just say it. Ty Grafton got to be fired. It's time. I mean, you can't run the same schemes with the team you had with the defense you had last year. We had pass rushers last year. You know what I'm saying? Jonathan Grenard, Zuniga, David Reese. You ain't got them no more. They're in the league. Most of them are in the league. Marco Wilson is the only one. He should have left last year when there was a chance. I mean, his draft stock just went down the drain, and you getting bought. How you not even? He said, "At least y'all got a scheme." Well, it's a scheme, but I mean, if you ain't got the players to fit that scheme, then what are you? You know, what are you? What are you going with? If you ain't got bodies, but like we just putting bodies on the field. Okay, don't get me wrong. Alabama this year has given up. They gave up 24 to Texas A&M. They gave up 48 to Lane Kiffin. If you didn't think that Ole Miss Bama game was gonna be high scoring, ain't crazy. The reason Ole Miss, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like you said, at least we got a scheme. Ole Miss gave us 35 points. I mean, y'all gave up more points to them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but Lane Kiffin versus Nick Saban, that was gonna be a good shootout. I mean, I think that game should have been. I think it was a lot of points scored. A lot of Bama don't give up points like that. It was a lot of points scored, but that's Lane Kiffin. You got to know something to expect. I mean, he was Alabama's offensive coordinator at one point in time too, and they was all about them points. You know what I'm saying? When Lane Kiffin was in town. So, and they got a good core. They got a good two quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? So, and both of them can run, throw, and catch. So it's like you got the best. You got the best of both worlds. But Alabama pulled it off. Right, and I get that, I get that. But the same thing you just said, Florida did the same thing, the same thing against Ole Miss. Ole Miss had the most yards against us, and we throw 4, 5, 6 touchdowns that game and won, and he still throwed up numbers. They were throwing up numbers. Lane Kiffin in 2 years. I'm not even saying 2 years. I said when he gets some recruits in, because I mean Lane Kiffin can recruit too. He gets some recruits in. Ole Miss gonna be a problem, a whole problem. Long as Lane Kiffin stick around and not let his ego get in front of him, I think Lane Kiffin belongs in the SEC. I think he's gonna be a real serious problem in the SEC, and then it's gonna be hard to say Ole Miss not competing for an SEC title in 2 years at the most. Come and say it wasn't just a scheme versus scheme. We had players not tackling jockeys. But I mean that plays back into spring camp though, man. Like with no spring camp, like we missing no SEC team looks dominant this year. Like no SEC team looks dominant. Georgia, don't get me wrong, Georgia looks decent. They look good far as it goes by saying, cool. Yeah. Georgia looks good far as it goes by saying they got a good game coming Saturday. And you will be able to tell where your defense is at when Kirby Smart team hits the field. He says, not taking anything from Kiffin, he's legit, but Bama's defense has been on a downward trend since Golden. Give it another week. Give it a week versus he said no improvement. Last year it was injuries. He got a pass. This year it's even more worse with a healthy squad. Yeah. It's tough. It's gonna be a tough one, man. And honestly, is the not having the the cupcake games on schedule when it's just SEC versus SEC, it's gonna look like this all year. It's gonna look like it all year because there are no practice games. I mean, you didn't get a spring camp, but the traveling, the testing, the just lining up is SEC on SEC. Your best versus my best, my scheme versus your scheme. My coach is better than your coach every week. Knockdown, and they're gonna beat each other up. Far as it goes by the ACC right now, Clemson looks good, but North Carolina looks good too. Clemson not giving up no points on defense, but North Carolina's putting up points on offense. So Mac Brown, same guy won the national championship with Texas. Mac Brown got North Carolina looking like, oh, wait a minute. We ain't look at them, and they're ranked high. They're ranked high. Right. So there you go. See, imagine if Georgia played against a real quarterback. Right. Garrett, don't get me wrong. Garrett Turner is alright, but there were plays that he missed. Honestly, I also thought y'all running the ball, getting good ground game. Tennessee versus Georgia. The running game, I think, was subpar. I mean, Tennessee defense came to play now. Tennessee got capitalized on some good things that was going on for them, but Georgia don't have a real quarter. I mean, Sam Bennett. Are we really believing in Bennett right now? I mean, like I said, it's gonna be like you don't have a. I don't want to make an excuse for no team, but you don't have that cupcake game to see where you're really at. That is going to hurt a lot of teams in the SEC that are underperforming in coaching. If that makes any sense. If you're bad with adjustments like Grantham, we'll just take Ty Grantham. You go to the locker room, come back out. Marco Wilson is still playing DB, and we're still playing in the zone. Kellen Mond picked that apart. Alabama didn't give Kellen Mond that opportunity to stand there in the pocket and throw the ball 30, 40 yards down the field. No, man, they blitzing all night. Kellen Mond played most of his game on the ground against Alabama, but against Ty Grantham's defense with Florida, he got a chance to stand in the pocket and throw it 30, 40 yards down the field and connected on a lot of passes. I mean, the man it was 25 for 38, 438 in the air, 4 touchdowns, like something like I think something like that. I ain't gonna knock it on that. I'll tell you, give me a second. Hold on. ESPN take all day to load. Let's see. Team Bosco. Yeah, Kellen Mond, 25 for 35, 338, and 3 touchdowns. No picks. That's because we sat in the zone the whole day. The whole day, no blitzing. No nothing. Kyle Trask, 23 for 32, 312, 4 touchdowns. That's because they defense wasn't blitzing. But they didn't have to blitz. They made the plays when it was there. The plays were there. When it was time to make that play, they made it. Malik Davis is little. Don't get me wrong. He shouldn't be on field. It should be Pearson Wright. Nobody care about that. Nobody. No adjustments were made, period. If that's what we calling it. No adjustments were made in the Florida game. Far as it go by, make sure that's right. But I said nothing has changed in the SEC over the last 10 years. Think about it. Shaking my head. But what would you mean by that? Because Georgia has a good coach, first of all. He also coached under Nick Saban, second of all. So for Georgia to have an off year, something's different got to happen. Georgia and Alabama. You'll get to see that game Saturday. So then you'll get to see who's really the better team. Because right now I think they're neck and neck with 2 and 3. You know, Clemson, Georgia, Clemson, Bama, Georgia. That's how it's gonna be until 4 and 5 step up, and whoever 4 and 5 might be. But Clemson, Georgia, Bama. There is no other team right now that's matching that fortitude. LSU squeaked in, got a national title. Now look at them. Losing to Missouri in a shootout. Every game this year with some of the top caliber teams in the SEC will be a shootout. Get used to seeing shootouts because it's going to be a shootout. It's a shootout at the Red River, right? Everybody thought Texas, every year Texas come in and they ranked high, and everybody wants to be, oh my God, Texas this, Texas that. Texas is where they're going to be at. That's where they're going to be at. Top 25 maybe with a couple of, with 2-3 key losses. That's what Texas is at. We're not we're putting Texas the teams. Texas, Ohio State, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, every year, top 10, loses a game early, every year, and then go on a streak. Texas they've been the same team for the past 5-10 years. We load them up to be here, and they end up here every year. The top teams right now is Clemson, Bama, Georgia, North Carolina. Hate to say that because North Carolina is a basketball school, but North Carolina should be 4. I can't even call it top 5. Like, the only teams that you really have seen that have just been there is Clemson, Bama, and Georgia. Everybody else just there. Nick Saban is 21-0 against his assistant coaches. Lord have mercy, bullet. Man, look. Being Nick Saban, it's a job. It's something you got to prepare for. That is a job. Ed Oderon had a Joe Burrow, and he had to still score 45 points. He still had to score. Nobody is beating Bama close like that. It's going to be a shootout. When you beat Bama, how many times in the last 10 years have you seen Bama get dominated on defense? In the last 10 years. How many times? Nobody. Get dominated on defense. I'm talking about people just picking them apart. No, you don't get that. You don't get that. He said Pete Golden would give up 21-1. So, oh man. No. They didn't beat him. But they didn't dominate. No. They didn't dominate Bama. No, they did not dominate Bama, though. I said just stand there and pick them apart. Well, okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. National championship game. But, I mean, they did play the year before that, though, right? They did play the year before that, right? He said, yeah, they did. You guys own it today. I see. I'm getting messages and everything. It's crazy. Y'all crazy out there. But somebody send this guy the link. I sent it to him. Don't worry about it. He said he don't see nothing. Let's go. He said, yeah, they couldn't stop Watson. Okay, but we talking about Deshaun Watson in college, right? But didn't they play him the year before that too? And Bama did what they supposed to do? Right. He said Bama dominated defensively in 2017 versus Clemson. Clemson returned the favor in 2018 with Trevor Lawrence doing as he pleased. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. But it's a like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like that. But look at the top 2 teams in the country right now. They're the same. It's the same thing. So how long do you think we're gonna get this Clemson versus Alabama that's out of conference? How many SEC teams have you seen dominate? Have you seen Bama get dominated by in the past 10 years? That's out of conference. They don't play each other until it's time to line up for that title. You know what I'm saying? The title on the line. You gonna bring your best when the championship on the line. You know what I'm saying? Is that right? None. Nobody. Ask Gus Miles on how hard is it to beat Alabama. He'll tell you. And he's been at Auburn, what, 10 years? 10. Oh, he said, when Kirby gonna win the big games? This question here is crazy because somebody had asked me about a year ago, who was the first, I think that was Brady Jackson, but who was the first, he said 1980, come on, man. Somebody asked me about a year ago, who's going to be the first coach, assistant coach of Nick Saban's to win it. And I think I picked Kirby over Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin got real close. He wasn't right. I mean, he wasn't. It was a back and forth game, and Pete Golden almost gave up. Like Brady said, Pete Golden gave it up. But first, you might. He said, does Auburn count as a big game? Oh, no. That offense is stale. I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna answer. When Georgia gonna win the big game? SEC title if they play for it. They're winning SEC title this year. That's the big game. They're not winning no national title. If they line up against Clemson, Clemson will beat them to death. If it's coming down to the national championship and it's Clemson and Georgia, Clemson will beat them to sleep. Night time. But I think it's gonna, when they play Bama Saturday, man, that's gonna be a tough game, man, and I'm not ready to give that. Yeah, it's definitely time for that. Give me a chance. I'm not ready to go off that conversation yet. You two want me to hold everything. Chris O'Dell, learn. You gonna have to say something outside of something, because what's the name wants me to hold your comment for a review. Georgia versus Alabama, man. I think Alabama gonna get it done, man. It's hard to give Georgia that win. I mean, even Tennessee looks good, but Georgia just really kind of capitalized on the mistakes that were made. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, they said the defense is on 10. But who have they played? Besides Tennessee, who have they really played? You know, that's got a scoring fast offense. To say their defense is one of the best defenses in the league in the SEC right now. I mean, let me get to these comments. My bad. Let me get to these comments. Let's see. When is Curry gonna win the big game? I answered that. 1980. He said maybe this weekend with better players. Does Auburn count as a big game? No. Auburn does not. Auburn offense is terrible. Period. Auburn's defense is there. Is right there. That's been enough. Auburn defense is trash. Yep. Get out. Coach every time. Bank on it. I don't get that comment. I got to give me that. Quarterback is trash. Yep. What about them Gators? Like I said, Jared Garantano. Garantano's decent, man. He decent. He just, I mean, it's some stuff down the field. Like, you got to give Garantano credit for something. Jeremy, if there was somebody else behind Garantano, Jeremy Pruitt would have started him already. Garantano was feeling himself yesterday. He threw the pick and the whole atmosphere of the game just changed. So, like, the defense got to help him out too, though. And running the ball in Tennessee has to be there. T. Martin, Peyton Manning, Josh Dobbs. Dobbs is a good quarterback. Dobbs beat Florida. Stop the streak. John Dobbs. Come on now. He said decent ain't good enough. Come on now. We talking about John Dobbs. Dobbs was good. Dobbs stopped one street. Then he stopped Florida. Yeah, Dobbs stopped Florida. I mean, they stopped the streak. You know what I'm saying? Then Tennessee beat Kentucky. Like they were just on the eight. They was on the 7-8 game win streak from last year. Come on now. That's why I said like you can't really hang your hat on that Georgia loss. Number 3 team in the country. Off their name. Off their name. Honestly. If Bama destroys Georgia this weekend, where will y'all rank Georgia after that? How far down will they fall? Because we all are sold on Georgia. We all sold on Georgia off their name, off their coach, off what they've been doing for the past 3 years since Kirby got there. Clemson will remain number one until the national championship game or until the ACC title game, something like that. UGA just has better players. He said Bama's not going to destroy Georgia, not with that defense effort. It'll be different. It'll be different. Let me explain. I think because I watched the Dan Mullen press conference and it's gonna play into what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, when you play at 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, you have had all day or at least time to wake up, brush your teeth, wash your face. Right? He said, no, Alabama needs a fire lit under their defense. Oh, man, don't be loud. Exactly. I think that was two. When you play, if Georgia and Bama play at 11:30 in the morning, at 11 o'clock in the morning, how you think the game going to go? To be honest. Georgia can't play football early in the morning. We haven't seen Bama play at 11 o'clock. Well, we've seen a couple times, maybe in the past 2 years, but we ain't seen them play at 11 o'clock since they lost to Monroe, which brings the same question: when is UGA going to win a big game? It's prime time with the lights on. Exactly. So, Florida's been booked, 3 weeks in a row at 11 o'clock in the morning? I mean, that is eventually is going to expose a lot of things. The defense is terrible that early in the morning. Kyle Trask gets up because he's wide awake, but you can't blame it on what time you playing. You just gotta get up and play. Like with the way the league set up, like we can't even talk about another team or not another conference because all the rest of the conferences look like they was gonna look anyway. Clemson is dominant. North Carolina has snuck into somebody's backyard and said we're pretty good. Notre Dame will be ranked in the top 5, top 10 every year, and they don't have to play a conference title game. Now this year, but will this year be different because they're in the ACC? Now that's very interesting. Nobody even thought about that. So how would that do that? Because North Carolina's pretty good, and North Carolina. Oh, you can't even talk about the U. Oh man, I did not know Charlie Strong was at Alabama. I knew that, but I had forgot. That is tough. Notre Dame, North Carolina don't play. If I'm not mistaken, they play, but Clemson don't play neither one of them. So how you gonna how you, could it? that's crazy. Who plays what? Nobody even thought about that. The ACC right now. Clemson don't play North Carolina. Right. Clemson don't play North Carolina, and Notre Dame don't play neither one of them. But oh my God, let me y'all give me 30 seconds. Give me 30 seconds. I have to look at that. I gotta look at that. let's go to the standings. Go to the standings. Y'all give me 1 second. I gotta look at it because nobody even thought about that. Nobody. Okay. So it's Clemson, North Carolina, Notre Dame, right? So and Notre Dame's in the ACC. Notre Dame plays Clemson. Oh, Notre Dame plays them both, but North Carolina don't play Clemson. So that'll be very interesting. So imagine if Notre Dame knocks off Clemson but loses to North Carolina. Ah. So y'all gotta pay attention now because the ACC with Notre Dame in there makes it a little bit more interesting. So we don't know if Clemson is really dominant or not until they play Notre Dame. Or is North Carolina that deal until they play Notre Dame? So Notre Dame really just kind of offset it, the ACC, just a little bit because everybody was believing that hype from Miami. What did Miami do to give up that hype like that? Who gave Miami that hype like that? Which game? The Notre Dame or Notre Dame and which one? Notre Dame plays Notre Dame plays North Carolina Thanksgiving. That's the Thanksgiving. Just right around the day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday. Yeah. And then Notre Dame plays Miami too. But I'm trying to see who gave Miami that hype that they were who they beat. They dominated UAB, and they beat Louisville, and then they beat Florida State, and we bumped them up from 12 to 7. Who gave Miami that hype? I mean, I understand it. I understand because we didn't have the rest of the teams, the rest of the conferences, like the I think it's the Big 10, the Big 12, whichever one of them Ohio State and Michigan is involved in. We gotta just bounce teams around and stuff like that. But UCF was ranked so high, and then they went out and lost, and then nobody forgot all about them, right? So what I'm saying is, I'm gonna get to your comments. Give me a second. What I'm saying is, who gave Miami that hype? They were there. I mean, like, it was a lot of stuff riding on Miami and Clemson, and then Clemson beats the doze off of them, right? Excuse me. My God. Okay, let me roll to. That's what I was trying to see. Who gave Miami that hype like that? Like everybody was like, "Oh my God, Miami." Who gave them that hype? I didn't see where it could have been different. Miami, the U ain't been good in a while. Let's see. He said I can start at corner today. No, man, I ain't got time for that. Jerry Jones paying enough money for me to get my old ass out there to play no football. He said the press said the defense is dominant after not playing with no one. Okay, back right. They beat the hell out of UAB. I get that, but after that, what I'm saying, the press. Okay, well, said the media hype they ass. They is 16 that haven't played a game yet in the top 25. Right. Because you have to think when it starts for those 6 teams, when it starts for them, they were the names that they got eliminated from fall football because of their commission of their conference. They ain't said they didn't want to play though. So, and it's just because of their names, right? Ohio State will be sitting at what Ohio State's sitting at. They will not drop or go forward until they play a game. And when they play a game, they're going to be in the top 4. Because Bama or Georgia got to be knocked off this weekend. So, and if you believe this when I tell you, if Bama loses to Georgia, they will be at the bottom of the top 10. I'm telling you that now. It's just because of when Ohio State gets to play and all that stuff like that. Like, and you ask me, we actually tipped our hands. If everybody couldn't start at the same time, it shouldn't have been a start. Because the hands been tipped. Everybody in that has not taken the field knows that the SEC does not have a dominant team. Not one. The ACC is garbage, Willie. You know it. How you figure that? Clemson has won what since we started the playoff situations. Clemson won two national titles, and the two. No, they've been down there twice, right? They won. Kirby would choke again. Shake my head. Blah blah blah. Right. Clemson award. What? Ohio State's got one. Everybody's getting one. Alabama's got two. No, they got one, and LSU got one. I mean, it spread it out. Spread that little trophy around. You know what I'm saying? I was hoping, Florida Florida State is going through some things right now, man. Willie Taggart scenery situation was different. Duke is a basketball school. No, but North Carolina and Notre Dame, I think this is a good thing for Notre Dame to be in the ACC right now. I think it is. He said some of the teams have gone forward without playing their freaking game. Nah, I mean, you gotta think about it. I mean, you gotta lift them up. You gotta lift them somewhere. It's the names on them now. I mean, it's mostly just the names, bro. It's just the name of the team and what you think they're gonna look like before they take a field. You know what I'm saying? But like the hand's been tipped though. Everybody knows what the ACC and the SEC look like right now. It's not a dominant team in the SEC. Clemson don't get to play nobody until they line up against. I tell you, my little situation kind of slow. Clemson plays bam 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 bam. They play Syracuse on the 24th. They play Notre Dame on the 7th. There you go. Yeah. They play Notre Dame on the 7th. Well, there you go. Next month to be exact. In 2 weeks. And then after that is field day to the championship. So, did we get to see Clemson versus Notre Dame in the playoffs last year? COVID. They missed Fisher. LOL. Garbage. And the Big 12. LOL. Agree with you with the Fighting Irish. Yeah. I think the Fighting Irish need to really look into what they got going on this year. By joining the ACC, that kind of put them, back in the conversation of, oh, we can compete. So imagine if we go back to the regular style formats next year, 2021. Do Notre Dame stay in the ACC? I would. You can also from here on out, you're offsetting the way the ACC look. I know they didn't want to come to the SEC because it's different situations down this way. But the way they've been playing and the way the SEC been playing, Notre Dame might be able to compete. You never know. Won't be like that Manti Te'o Alabama situation, you know what I'm saying? My fake girlfriend. But anyway, that's their only game. Does the Big 12, the Notre Dame game. That's the only game Clemson got where you be able to see what it is. But Boston College is 3-1. They play them at the end of this month. And Syracuse is out of there. They play Florida State in November. Pitts look decent here and now, and VTech, whatever. He said, okay. Let me ask some questions. Does the Big 12 get the same pass the SEC does? We always say, where the SEC just beats up on each other. Does the Big 12 get to say that? Nope. Big 12 different. It's always gonna be different. They can't handle the big teams here. Let go back to when they went to the national championship. What happened when they met BAMA? It was a lot of. I think they should stay in a conference worth talking about. He said, "I will put my life on that Clemson annihilate Notre Dame game. I take Notre Dame. We can bet it up if you want to. We can put some money on it. I get Notre Dame. Ian, I tell you this. I tell you this. I want somebody to pay you some attention. Trevor Lawrence is good. He was good his freshman year. He was decent his sophomore year. He's a junior now, right? So he should be coming out after this year. I think it'll be right there. I think that Clemson Notre Dame game is gonna be the deciding factor of the ACC. And for if Notre Dame could beat Clemson and win the ACC, that'll be something to talk about. He said, bet it. He said, I will put my life on Clemson. Okay. I agree. The only good showing the Big 12 has ever had is the playoffs 2017 versus Georgia. Yeah, indeed. So, like, um, said Bama defense, LOL, bet. Uh, y'all caught me off guard with all the comments and stuff. I appreciate y'all pulling up. Caught me a little bit off guard. I had put notes together for this one because I'm honestly, I was kind of, I told my girl today, I was like, I'm kind of not feeling the podcast situation, but she said, oh shit, you better get the feeling it. So that's how they go. But anyway, where we at with it? Auburn. Bo Nix versus Felipe Franks. I just want to talk about it. I just want to talk about it. Who is Notre Dame quarterback? I bet you can't tell me you got 10 seconds. I can't get it to you in 3 seconds. I'm good. I don't know. I don't know nothing about. I barely can watch a Notre Dame game. He said, nope. Next. I guess we can do a little preview. Just a little small preview of this week's games coming up. Week 7, October 13th through the 19th. Top 25. Only big game gonna be on TV is Tennessee and ain't Tennessee and Kentucky. It'll be A&M versus Mississippi State, North Carolina versus Florida State, and Georgia versus Alabama. That's the biggest game. Them the biggest games on TV this weekend. It's most like this weekend would be like the cupcakes the cupcake weekends that you don't really get to. You know what I'm saying? Only big game and they come on at 7 o'clock on CBS. That's like the SEC championship game preview for real. That's how they're gonna be LSU versus Florida. High powered offense and no defense. I'm gonna give it to Florida because I'm not just because the fan. I think Florida's offense is a little bit better than LSU's offense. Defense wise, LSU ain't played no defense this year either. So I gave 45 points to Missouri. So I think the rematch. I don't call them garbage. They just in. It's not a rebuilding year. They gotta find an identity. Yeah, their whole team went to the league, right? So like I said, I think it's mostly just they gotta find an identity right now. And Brennan actually looked good yesterday. You know what I'm saying? It's just their defense couldn't stop nothing. So they lost 45-41. So I like I said, and we lost 41-38. So like I think it's gonna be a shootout. No. Coach O is actually pretty good. If besides the national title and winning the SEC title, Coach O has been fair in LSU. So what they gonna do? I mean, he won the national title this year. He might win 5 games this year, maybe 5. Maybe 5. Ooh, he gonna be tough. You gonna fire after you just won a national title? Don't get me wrong, the quarterback, but who comes out and goes crazy besides Alabama? Comes out the next year after winning the national title and just goes nuts. Anybody? They lost the whole team. Coach O is Gene Chizik 2.0. No. I said 2 years. Gene Chizik won. Yeah, I said 2 years. Gene Chizik won the national title too. Yeah, he did. Maybe next year. I like trash, bro. Hey man, okay, something like that. I think Oderon just gotta they gotta find some help on defense. They even lost they defensive coordinator. That dude that had been around for a while. So like you got like I said, it was might be the offensive coordinator. The offensive coordinator. They lost their offensive coordinator too, so like but they still throwing on points though. So it's just a lot of people left the LSU team. So LSU just gotta be, just they gotta find their identity. And that goes back to my opening statements or whatnot. That with no spring camps and stuff like that. Ooh, I've been sneezing and coughing the whole time. Is more like no spring camps and stuff like that. It's every week you don't get better. You get to a point where better can be good. Every team in the SEC would drop a game this year. Every team. At least a game. At least one. Even if it's in the title game. Play with that if you like. That's tough. He said you could tell. He said, "Oh, okay. His team was loaded. Burrow is O's Cam. I like Trash Cap. He decent. I think he makes some bonehead decisions. Kyle Trask, I think he makes some bonehead decisions sometimes, but he decent. He ain't Florida quarterback material. Not to what we're used to seeing, But I mean, he good though. Make he make a play here and now, you know what I'm saying. But Kyle Pitts is 6'6", 240 with speed. I can hit him running. You know what I'm saying? I can hit him with my eyes closed. I ain't got to do nothing but throw it up in the air. He going to go get it. Kadarius Toney got nothing but speed. But you don't see Kadarius. Like, he got a couple of catches this weekend. 7 catches for this many yards, this many yards. But, you said not Bama. Like I said, it's just, it's different, bro. It's a different situation. Like like I said, Kyle Trask is good, but I can hit a 6'6" target. And you ain't got to do nothing but throw the ball up in the air and he go get it. That's cupcake. James Borgen said, I guess he was saying to my comment when I said everybody in the SEC would drop a game this year. He said not Bama. Bama too, bro. He said, I agree with you. Nobody's going exactly. Nobody is going undefeated, bro. It's not designed to. Now, if anybody is going to go undefeated, it'll be Bama. But everybody will drop a game. If Georgia doesn't beat Bama Saturday, they're gonna beat them in the SEC title game. Nobody off this east side is seeing Alabama. Off this east side, seeing Alabama up until some more things are established. So if Georgia lose to them Saturday, they'll have a game plan for them come SEC title game. Nobody else is gonna get that close to him. You know what I'm saying? Lane Kiffin was close. He was real close, but they're on the same side. They're on the west side. And the west side's been running running things for a little while now. So that's how that go. Georgia. Like I said, Georgia can take them. If they don't beat them Saturday, they'll beat them in the SEC title game, and vice versa. If Georgia beats them Saturday, Bama will catch them in the SEC title game. No team in the SEC is going undefeated. If you go undefeated in the SEC in just SEC play, you need to be number infinity. Damn one. You need to be infinity. Because it's hat on hat. He said, I'm about to get ready and watch the Garbage Boys. Y'all have a good evening. Go Vols. Go Vols, man. Be safe. We appreciate you pulling up there, my guy. SEC, ACC, college football final. Let me just run it down real quick just in case you didn't catch it and you did want to catch it. Florida got knocked out by A&M. North Carolina still scoring points and winning. LSU got knocked off. The Red River Rivalry was one of the best. They combined for 98 points. Oklahoma beat them 53-45. Georgia beat Tennessee in the second half. So Georgia beat Tennessee 44-21. BYU played some team with a lot of initials. Auburn got away with murder. Moving on, Clemson beat the Dogs off Miami. Ole Miss in Alabama shootout to the finish. Alabama reigned supreme though, 63-48. And Notre Dame beat Florida State. Notre Dame beat Florida State 42-26. As far as the scores go, way too early for Heisman candidate. Yeah, indeed. Everybody ain't played yet. I want to see every college football team take the field before we even like. That's how we did with the MVP trophy in basketball. It was hacked out too early. I mean, the season wasn't even over, but I mean, Giannis did what Giannis was gonna do. Blah 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 blah, and then it was eliminated in the second round of the playoffs. Right. Too early for Heisman candidates. I mean, Kyle Trask looked good. Ellinger was looking good up until they lost to Texas, and I mean, it's like I don't think so. Anyway, I guess I'm gonna tap into a little basketball. We got the finals tonight, NBA finals, game 6, 3-2 Lakers. I'm gonna make it short and sweet. Heat and sell. If they don't beat them tonight, Heat and sell. The Lakers gotta win. The Lakers gotta win tonight for me to believe that they are the NBA champions or the NBA Bubblicious champions. That's what I call it. The NBA Bubblicious champions. They gotta win it tonight. Otherwise, they play the Heat in 7 games, they're gonna lose. I'm gonna show that again. You gotta stop. He said, "You damn right." You gotta stop cursing, man, because YouTube want me to stop everything you doing. I'm gonna show it every time though. If Bron can't say if they don't win it tonight, but if the Heat somehow, some way pulls it out tonight, they gonna win the championship. That's how I feel. But tonight, I think the closeout game is real. If we try to get 7 games out of this NBA Bubblicious championship, I don't think we're gonna get 7 games. The Heat deserve one more win, but it should have been already. We should have been on game 7 by now. It should have been already game 7. I just think Jimmy Butler's gotta give us 40. Give us the whole game. He gave us what 46 minutes game. He said Jimmy. Yeah, he said out of gas. Yeah, Jimmy played the whole game 7 2 minutes. He gonna have to give us all of this. He can't sit down. I'm gonna tell you, sit down. It's halftime. Get you some Gatorade. Come on back out here. When I pass by you at the coaching table, just throw some Gatorade in the air. Catch you to keep driving. Feel me? Jimmy can't be out of gas. He said Bam gonna show up. Don't matter if Bam show up or not. Tyler Hero gonna have to show up, and Duncan Robinson gonna have to give you at least 40, 35 more points. Because if Jimmy's out of gas, somebody else is gonna have to be with the gas. Tyler Hero's gonna have to wake up. Dragic ain't coming back. Tyler Hero's gonna have to wake up. It's time. It's time for you to get back into the situation. He said he only left the game 47 seconds. There you go. And he spent all day Saturday getting rubbed down and fluids and all that other good stuff. So Bron and Danny Green ain't missing that another 3-pointer to win the finals. I'm gonna tell you that now. They gonna be on one. So they gonna have to come with it. It's gonna have to be different for anybody, you know. Right. It's just like I said, it's just Jimmy Butler can be out of gas, but he gonna need some help. He's gonna need some help tonight. Period. Yeah, it's a lot of that's gonna go into this there's a lot gonna have to go into this in these NBA finals tonight, dog. It ain't gonna be Jimmy Butler lead the game 47 seconds, dog. When he gonna sit down, the game's blown out. They're not gonna win the title. Period. That's how that's gonna go. But Um, ooh, that's just how it's gonna go. But my bad, y'all. It just gotta be 100% all go tonight from the whole Heat team. That's the only way the Heat force a game seven, and it'll be better to lose game seven than to lose game six. The reason why is Jimmy Butler has stamped his name in top 10 players. Period. Just from his performance in Game Five. So to force a Game Seven, nah, I'm not. I'm not gonna do NFL today. I ain't really had the energy for the NFL. Jim Butler just gotta. He gotta give me one more. If he get a game seven, if they get the game seven, if he gets the game seven and he out of all other guys, I salute that more than to lose it tonight. I got the Heat winning tonight, man, by at least 3 to 5 points, and I can't go no higher than that because I don't see them blowing the Lakers out. I don't see the Lakers losing the championship, maybe, but I think it's tough, man. It's tough. Jimmy, I keep putting it on. I put it on Jimmy because that's his team. That's the team. That's what he wanted. He wanted his own team. He got the money. He got the team. He got the coach. He got the GM. He got everything, and he gave us everything. Game five that was enough to push a game six. We gotta see it though. Do we got enough to push a game seven? Tyler Hero gonna have to wake up. He said he got to continue to go to the hole and not be scared to shoot 20 plus feet. Yeah, they showed hard of a line. Yeah, they did, man. I respect the Heat. A lot of folks ain't gonna get them that same opportunity, but I respect the Heat. The Heat really Bam big, but he ain't no dominant big man. You know what I'm saying? All them boys like that team young. So to push the Lakers to 7 games in the finals, if they get into the finals, if they get into a game seven, it's respect, dog. And I think they'll repeat too. I think they're gonna be the next best team in the East because all this right here now is experience. This is getting acquainted to what's going on. And Bam and Tyler, they young. You know what I'm saying? Dragic been in the league for a little while, but he never had this opportunity. You see him sitting on the sideline with a mask on his face. But Duncan Robinson, Bam, Tyler Hero, even Jimmy, they had this getting what they need as an experience factor, right? So it's right there. So this they really already put themselves in the position to say, hey, we can compete with anybody. You know what I'm saying? We didn't push them this far. Yeah, he said Eric needs the respect he deserves as one of the best coaches in the league. Damn, you going too far. That's too far. That's too far. That's too far, go. That's too that's too far, bro. That yeah, come on back. Come on back. Just come back a little bit. Just a little bit. That's too far, bro. That's too far. Golly, that boy said one of the. Yeah. I mean, but they also had LeBron James, man. I mean, in the years he didn't have LeBron James, they wasn't even a playoff team. So he said money gonna break them up. No, how is that? Tyler Hero done playing on rookie contract. Tyler Hero's on the rookie contract. Ain't Bam a rookie? That's a rookie contract. Like they straight. I wouldn't ask for no. Why would you ask for bread right now when you're in the final? Well, I'm like Jimmy brought these boys to a finals, and it wasn't, and the team wasn't and the team hasn't been about Jimmy. Yeah. Okay. Right. But the team hasn't even been about Jimmy. It's really been about the whole team, coaching staff, GM play, hotel suites, all that stuff like that. Like it's really been like about the whole Miami Heat organization. It ain't just been about I if I'm the Heat, we don't want Giannis. We ain't ring chasing. We right here. We one game away from we one game away from pushing seven games with the Lakers, with one of the best players in the world. You know what I'm saying? Top five, one of the top five players in basketball, and the GOAT. I wouldn't want Giannis. Giannis wouldn't be the reason why we win a championship. Cause that's exactly what the conversation is gonna be. Giannis is the reason we won a championship. You don't want that. Jimmy that ain't Jimmy Butler's attitude. First of all, look when he was in Minnesota, how much he got into it with Karl Anthony Towns and Wiggins and stuff like that, and they eventually shipped him on off to Chicago. And then he was in Chicago, they went and put the help around him that he needed to be a playoff team. And then they shipped him on off to Philadelphia. And when he got it, he was into it with Embiid because of attitudes and stuff like that. Jimmy is a leader, first of all. So by Jimmy being just, the leader, most you can't really put extra talent like that around. Like, I don't say extra talent. You just can't put a Giannis around Jimmy Butler. You know what I'm saying? Like, because he's the leader. That's why him and Embiid, yeah, yeah. That's why him and Embiid got into it, because Jimmy wanted to win. Embiid wanted to play. You know what I'm saying? It's different. If Giannis ain't never dealt with somebody's ego, he gonna have to deal with Jimmy's ego. That's Jimmy's team, man. If you're gonna bring in a man that's gonna be, whatever, but I will give Bam some help. You know, give me somebody that can go down there and bang with Bam. You know what I'm saying? Just to offset Bam's play, just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because Bam would be a whole lot better if he had somebody to help contribute to what he got going on. Because he ain't shooting no free throws. We've seen that already. He needs to be in the gym practicing his free throws, not worried about, what I'm saying, am I going to get 10, 12 rebounds a game? So if you're going to get some help to that team, the help should come towards Bam, and you might need another shooter. You know what I'm saying? That's mostly, but I wouldn't even. You got Tyler Hero shooting it from anywhere, Duncan Robinson from anywhere, Jimmy Butler from 15 feet of back. But Bam is by itself. Like, you don't hear no other big man name called in that Heat progress. So, like, by Giannis coming, Giannis is gonna offset the way the team is worked, because you definitely finna have to break them up, because you finna definitely have to ship some bodies off. You know what I'm saying? That he have to stop Caruso and Rondo from getting the offensive boards, right? You gotta, and then Rondo out here shooting 3-pointers. You gotta make sure you lock that down. But I will let, if anybody gonna beat me, it ain't gonna be Anthony Davis, Caruso, Danny Green, Caldwell Pope. Won't none of them beat me. Bron gonna have to beat me by himself. The rest of these boys are locked up. I'm letting LeBron score 1,000,000 if he gotta score 1,000,000, right? Because I'm gonna score 1,000,000 with him. But Ant Davis, Caruso, Caldwell Pope, Danny Green, JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard, Rondo, ain't none of them finna beat me. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I can't do it. He need to put Haslam in the damn game. That's what he need to do. If Haslam can't do nothing, he can go out there and take some licks. He can go out there and get physical, get a couple body pops, you know what I'm saying? AD hurt, you're going to have to put a little more pressure on AD, because he ain't getting, AD going off for 25 a night. You know why? Because ain't no pressure in his face. Haslam was offset that. It's leave it all on the floor. Jimmy gave you every minute of the game 5. It's for the championship. Down the court, baby. Down the court. It's the championship game. You got to down the court. That's how that's gonna go. Ain't no if and buts about it. You gotta down the court. What would you how would you rather die? An NBA champion or I lost to LeBron in the finals? How would you want to go out? I won a championship with LeBron, right? Right. You die with that ring. I won a championship with LeBron. Now I get a chance to beat LeBron. I'm dying on the floor. Why not? We talking about Haslam. Right, that's what I'm saying. He won a championship with Bron. Now he can lose. Now he can beat Bron for a championship. Die on the floor. That's how I see it. Why not? Man, y'all have been beautiful today, man. I'm not gonna tell y'all no story, man. Y'all have been beautiful. I appreciate all of it, and I swear that it's been real. Been real today, and y'all made me. Y'all really. I think when I just gave out that notification, that podcast going live in 30 minutes, I think that kind of, brought that work to me too, and I appreciate that. I think because I was feeling rough around the edges with just being live and doing podcasts and stuff like that, man. But I got so much stuff going on, and then work 6 days and still be able to produce, and then the way the camera's set up and you can see a whole lot more and stuff like that, man. I'm just having a good time. Honestly, I just had a good time, for real. So, that's all I got, man, as far as the show go. That's an hour, 12 minutes with me just talking about myself. But as far as the show go, man, I appreciate everybody who showed up, everybody new subscribers and all that other stuff. We're going to leave that 24 up there. I think we high. We high on the subs and stuff like that, and I appreciate it. Feel me? Because, from going from the 2-8 channel to Bill right here on NEF it's been a work. Boy, can I appreciate that, man. 100 to you too, my guy. It's been a work in progress. I got some more stuff I'm dropping. He said we'll see after the final conclude. Man, I probably go live Monday morning for real, man. I think I'm just trying to put a show together every day, just to, what I'm saying, get back fluent with this thing, because I had lost my mood for real. But I'm back though. 100%. But hey, man, that's my show. Never Knows Podcast, man. War Room episode 2 is coming. I am trying to get bodies for War Room episode 2. I know it's like I said, the COVID and everything, but the way I got the setup moving and stuff like that, I'm trying to put War Room, I'm trying to have an episode for War Room every week now. So like it's moving, it's different, and it won't be live. That's number one. I think that's where I was messing up at. But it won't be live. But War Room, the Facebook group, War Room, the show, coming back soon. Y'all just stay tuned for all that, man. Never Know Podcast, YouTube, Never TV. I'm out. Y'all be safe, man.